So you can't say barbecue without saying ribs. It's a foundational cut of any true Southern barbecue. And don't worry, you don't have to be a pit master to make it. I've got a streamlined recipe on a gas grill using a very basic rub that you can adapt to your own taste and preferences. Now, with any style of ribs, the first thing you gotta do is you actually gotta prep the ribs. So after I purchase them, I like to rinse them off, pat them dry, and then a really key component is to remove this inner membrane that we have. And what I wanna do is just work this knife in between the bone and the membrane. And kind of my little secret hack is I'm just gonna get a paper towel because it's gonna allow me to grab this membrane. And I just wanna pull this completely clean from the back of the ribs. We wanna allow the smoke to penetrate the meat and add even more flavor. So now that we have our ribs prepped, it's all about putting together a dry rub. Now, but what I wanna add today is some kosher salt, some fresh cracked pepper, some cumin, some cayenne for some heat, brown sugar for sweetness, a little smoked paprika, even more smoked flavor, and some chili powder. And I just want to work this until everything is evenly combined. The next thing I want to do is just add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. This is going to allow us to adhere the dry rub to the meat. And you know, one thing about barbecue, it takes a lot of time and patience. And it's also something where you can't be afraid to get your hands dirty. And don't be shy with the rub, okay? We've got 2 racks today, which is going to serve about a half of a rack per person. If you're like me, sometimes I can take down a whole rack. So I'm using my hands, and again, I wanna make sure that I rub this into every little crevice, every little nook and cranny. This is one of our first and only chances to add flavor to the ribs. What I like to do, now that we've got our ribs rubbed and completely prepped, I just want to wrap these in foil, and I'm going to put these in the fridge for at least 8 hours. But if you got time, you want to keep them in there overnight. What that'll allow us to do is add even more flavor, help tenderize the meat for when we're ready to smoke the ribs. So if I put these cold ribs right out of the fridge, right on a grill, it's gonna bring the heat down, which is not what I want because all the rub is gonna come off the ribs. So if we allow them to sit at room temperature for 30 minutes, when we put them on the grill, they're gonna come out perfect. I've got the left-hand side, all 3 burners set to medium, low, and ideally I just wanna cover this grill and get the temperature up to about 225 to 250 degrees. I'm using heavy-duty aluminum foil. I've got hickory chips, you could use apple, you could use pecan. So I'm just gonna add these chips directly on the foil, fold this together, and essentially create kind of a foil packet. Then using a fork, just gonna poke some holes in our foil. I'm gonna put this on the direct heat side of the grill. And that's gonna allow these chips to basically give up their smoke. Now, on the indirect side, we're adding the ribs. So horizontally offset from the heat. So our ribs have been on for about 3.5 hours. It's time to tell whether or not they're done. And there are some telltale signs that you look for a perfectly cooked rib. The meat has pulled back from the bone, which is a true indication that these ribs are done. But my second test is I just like to pick up my tongs, and I'm gonna pick up the rib, and you'll see just as I start to pick it up, it's already starting to break and fall apart. That means it's super tender. These are ready to eat. And for me, I like to serve them just as is. I really appreciate all the smoked flavor, the time and energy that went into that dry rub. We'll just go ahead and cut into these right now. And I like to serve anywhere between 3 to 4 ribs per person, right in between the bone. See how tender they are? These look absolutely perfect.